Yes, people. Welcome back to Grounded Football on the First XI. And before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people. I hope you're all well, wherever it is that you may be at the moment in the world. And I'm joined by man like Slens and the surfer himself. Hopefully, Lambs will be joining us at some point as well. There's already 15 of you here right now, so please make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to First XI. This is something they'll be looking to do, or we'll be looking to do on a weekly basis over here. And the topics are pretty much, what's going on at the moment and giving our sort of thoughts and opinions on them as we move. Let's quickly go through the chat, see what people were saying. Covering You Blues TV says, big up Surfer, Gem and Slens. Big up to Real Chris. Kai's asking where we are. We're starting now, Kai. Big up to Devil's Avocado says, big up the panel. Tappy out. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that later. That's one of our 3 topics today that we'll be jumping into. Man like Winter Surfer is what C1 London is saying. And let's get into it, guys. I wanted to start with the news that we got today. Obviously, we know yesterday we were sitting there cheering. All of a sudden, this Kounde news come out of nowhere from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea potentially are going to get Kounde to Chelsea. It seems like it's going to be for Zuma. It's going to be a player swap. It's not been confirmed in terms of the length of the contract, and it's not been confirmed in terms of the amounts. Yeah, so even though we're giving him Zuma, I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit on top of that as well for money. But I'll start with Slens. Slens, what's your thoughts on the overall deal? Are you happy as a Chelsea fan to see Kounde coming to Chelsea?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Can hear her. Yeah, I'm very happy. Sorry, I'm very happy. I think he suits our system. He's can play in the right centre back, middle of the 3 centre backs, or the left centre back. I think he's comfortable on the ball. I think again, when it comes to Zuma, as much as he has good qualities and he's great at aerial duels and he can dominate in the air, we saw that he stood out like a sore thumb in the Tuchel system, and that's because he just wasn't comfortable on the ball. He never was, and you bring in someone who's 22 years old. In terms of under 23s in the league, are probably the best stats in terms of aerial duels won, even though he's 5'10". But I was going to get to that. But him being 5'10" shouldn't be something that puts us off signing him, because despite him being 5'10" and shorter than maybe the strikers all facing the Premier League, he still doesn't get bullied in the air, and his numbers say that. And you have to understand, when you're defending, right, even if you're not that tall, you could still be a nuisance to your opponent if he's taller than you in the air. Like, it's just about being smart. Like, I've always said this: centre backs that don't rely on physicality still are the best. Can still be the best centre backs in the world. Look at Thiago Silva. Like, he's not very quick, but he's the quickest thinker on the pitch. That's what Kounde is. Kounde, for me, has experience. Like, at 22 years old, played in the Europa League final. I think it's a great signing. He was worth about 80 million as release clause, I believe. 80 million euros. We might be getting him for 50, maybe even less. So, great signing.
I agree, and C1 London's already brought out a song for Kounde, which big up to Alexis actually created. The ship from Spurs, they bought his flight, but Julius Kounde saw the light. He's got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He hates Tottenham, 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 he hates Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham.
Right, it's nearly 30 of you guys here already with us. 31 now.
Wow.
Smash that like button. Subscribe to First XI. Like I said, there's something we'll be doing on a weekly basis. Smash the like button. Let's get up to 30 likes. 30 of you here. So let's get it going, guys. Let's get it going. What a song. Winter Surfer, I'm going to go on to you, mate. What's your thoughts on the whole Kounde thing? Are you happy? I mean, obviously Zuma was a fan favourite in many ways, going the other way. But are you happy with the overall deal?
From what I'm reading, it's estimates are somewhere between 22 to 27 million pounds plus Zuma.
Yeah,
I think that's tremendous. Seeing as we were seeing quotes of up to 80 million euros in some places. If Marina's got him for 20, anywhere between that price plus Zuma, then I don't know why she gets this heat anyway, but another piece of fantastic business by Marina. Get I'm not going to say world class because I don't think he is yet, but someone who's got the ability to be world class. I just also think just the announcement of we were in for him, Gem, the mood in the fan base, just a complete 180. Just everyone, I think everyone nearly forgot about Haaland for a good few hours yesterday that we were going for him. It was just more of a happier place that we were, because obviously the news kept rolling literally throughout the night. It was like we're getting closer and closer. I just think this guy, I think he's got it. I mean, Slen's got the stats about him. You know, he's won his second most aerial duels in La Liga last season. I think the height thing is blown way out of proportion. Because one of the greatest spinners of all time, Puyol's only a little bit taller than he was. Cannavaro, one of the greatest of all time. And I just think just the whole of his transfer distracting. I think it's good for the Chelsea fan base to focus on him. A good signing coming in, and I just think another great young player that adds to our core as well. And we're building a winning core. I think if we do sign it, I think we're going to wrap this signing probably up tomorrow or the latest Friday. I think.
And you know what? I agree with you. I think it's something that's full steam ahead, and the only reason it's going so quick is because again, I keep saying it. Chelsea allow it to, and usually when Chelsea do their business, it's always behind closed doors. And I really think it should be done at least, if not tomorrow, the next day. I'd be surprised if it goes into.
I can't see it going to next Monday or something like that.
No,
I can't see it going that far.
I'm surprised the fan base was struggling before Kounde. Didn't we sign Bettinelli? He's a great keeper, man. One of the best keepers in Europe.
These stats that Winter Surfer was talking about are here. Newman obviously brought them out earlier, and this is his stats at Seville last season.
As well. He said it multiple times yesterday as well. So.
Most passes played into the final third.
Slens.
Well, yeah, no, I was liking Slens' stuff anyway, so I know this. But most passes played into final third, 165. Most aerial duels, 118. Most ball recoveries at 312. Most interceptions at 42. Has a second most highest clearances at 140, and the second most highest progressive passes in 141, and the second best pressing success as well at 45.5%. So, you know, this whole thing, I'm going to go back to Slens on this one. Slens, this whole talk about him not being great and he's small and he's not really like his frame, even though he's small. His frame's quite skinny as well. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle a Burnley, for example, or a Souček at West Ham. It kind of squashes it, doesn't it, when you see stuff like this?
I don't think it squashes it because the context you have to understand is that in the Liga, I've said this before, that the type of play and type of football they play is different to what we play in Premier League. I think Premier League in the Liga you don't see many teams like Burnley and Sheffield United and you know the ones that rely on the long ball. So obviously the stats for the defenders will be elevated in terms of aerial duels and stuff. So he might win less duels because he's in this kind of league. But at the same time, I still think those numbers they fill me with a lot of confidence in terms of him dealing with the aerial duels. And listen, I've said this before, and people always get confused. They think I'm comparing Kounde to these great centre backs, but I've got names for you guys. I've got Puyol, I've got Cannavaro, I've even got Baresi. Like all of these centre backs, which I'm not comparing to Kounde, are incredible centre backs, the greatest of our generation. But
any generation.
Yeah, and they never struggled aerially for me. Like I didn't see them get bullied. That's because it's all about, as I said, intelligence. It's about when you jump, how like even if he's not that tall, he could have incredible height because some people jump higher than others, don't they? So listen, don't let this get into your head. Like I still think City wanted him. Spurs were interested. United were interested. Are you telling me they all didn't know about his height? So don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
Exactly.
Well, there's over 45 of you here right now on Facebook and YouTube combined at the moment. So please, I know you can't smash the like, but actually you can hit the likes on Facebook, can't you? It's like a little like. You can smash that like
poke us
on there.
Poke us, as I say that.
Poke us on Facebook.
Yeah, Lambs is joining us as well. Lambs, welcome to the stream. You alright? She's there.
Guys, give me like 2 seconds. Honestly,
Yeah.
knocked my whole bin over shit.
Go on.
Okay.
No worries. I'll put you back. Let me know when you're ready. Yeah, look, and honestly, I don't think this guy's going to have any issues. One thing we've got to do as Chelsea fans is obviously be patient. You know, players that come to the Premier League and play in this league at a top team like Chelsea need to be given time. He might not need time. He might come in. He might like the way the game's played, how quick it is, the tempo. You know, the system's going to suit him as well. Winter Surfer, with regards to Kounde, where do you see him playing in terms of how does he fit in for you? Is he if we go to a back three, where does he play? If we go to a back four, where does he play? Like, what would you do with him?
I think he plays on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Of the three. I think he plays there. If he plays in the three, I don't put him. I think he'll play either side, but I'd never put him in the middle. Just for that, I don't think he would do well in the middle. I will say what's scary is if he settles and we have Reece James at right wing back and Kounde on the right hand side. Please, nobody even try and attack us down that left hand side. There's just no point because you're never getting past us. He's got pace, he's got agility, he's got strength. I've seen him play as a battler. Those stats are also impressive because remember he's playing for Sevilla. He's not playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona or anything like that where you would expect stats like that. I always think sometimes it's easier for defenders to settle into the Premier League quicker than forward players. I don't think much is expected of them. And considering the price we're going to pay for him as well. And now I know Zuma's going the other way, so you count in like a total of money, it would add over to 50. But since we're only paying 20-something million euros for him, I don't expect even opposition fans to put that much of expectations on him or to ridicule him or something like that. They will because it's rival fans, but it's not like a Diaz where it's 60 million or something like that. I think he will settle in very well. Thomas Tuchel has proven he's at the moment he can get a tune out of anyone at the moment, and I think the defense is already built. He's got Thiago, Christensen, and hopefully Rudiger stays. And I think it's fantastic. Like I said, I think it's fantastic business, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player for us as well. So.
And I hear you 100%. I think you all know how much I like Kounde. It's very unusual to actually see me talk about a player and be very excited for him coming because I'm not really that type of character. But with Kounde, I think he's got all the ability to become a top defender, and he's coming under a manager that manages to elevate players and their performances, which is why I think it works. You know, he's also walking into a very young squad, squad that's still developing as well. We're not even a finished article. We're very raw. We're such a raw talent when you look at it as well. And go on, Sen.
Sorry. Do you mind if I just put the nail on the coffin about this whole height argument as well? Because for me, who is he coming in to replace mostly? Do you guys think?
Azpilicueta.
Yeah.
How tall is Azpilicueta?
No, I don't even think he's as tall as Kounde.
He's not. So and if you look at his aerial duels, Azpilicueta is the worst out of the three, right?
Yeah.
They're moaning about his frame, Slens.
His frame. What's Aspi's frame? Is he a bodybuilder? Last time I checked, he was a skinny man as well.
What's Christensen's frame? Christensen's skinny.
Yeah, exactly.
Rudiger's frame's skinny.
Yeah.
It's the way. Yeah. It's not the way you look. It's how you carry your frame.
I think these people should watch UFC instead of football if they're looking for 6 foot muscly guys. Man, honestly, go enjoy that.
If you want to watch 6 foot,
exactly
people going around slamming each other, just watch that. And this is on the wrestling guy, so I'm not taking the piss.
I was talking.
I'm fully taking the piss.
I was on Twitter today, and I put these. You know the stats that I showed up earlier. I put them up on Twitter, and there was this Chelsea fan, and he just started going in. He was like, "You're part of the reason that rival fans have the opportunity to moan at us and take the piss out of us because you gas up players." I went, ain't you the guy that came over to me yesterday, the day before, when we announced Kounde, and said to me that you think the board are pretty much wasting their time and wasting their money, and and if he flops, we got to point fingers at the board, and he's not even that good, and all this. I went, mate, you've really made your mind up. You don't. You're not even supporting the player wearing that shirt.
Bro.
I just said I would support the club, right, over
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? If I didn't like a player coming to my team, I'd still support him. I'd never be like, "Oh, he's fucking this, that."
Yeah.
Like,
they're not the problem, right? Well, the problem
Yeah.
is that you liked my tweet when I actually quote tweeted a journalist, a correspondent who's got 15k followers, 15k followers. Think about this, who's someone who I'm pretty sure he speaks eloquently, probably very educated. He says something like this. He says, "Oh, he's the same height as Azpilicueta." Then he answers, "Who is by some distance Chelsea's weakest aerial defender in the back three." These guys are just planting seeds for negativity, man. I swear to you, I don't care listen, honestly, to me. Like, if you're a football correspondent, you need to understand football in some manner.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not saying I understand more than he does, but if you look at our system, you look at the way we play. Do you think we have issues with aerial duels under Tuchel? No. Do you think he'll come in and affect it? Like, this is what I mean, because they're planting seeds. Like 15k of his followers are going to read that, and be like, you know what, this guy is right, and it just goes on from there. And you know why this is happening, by the way? Because Guehi and Tomori got sold. I'll just say it how it is, and they think that Guehi could have come in instead of Kounde, even though Kounde is one of the best centre backs in the league.
He's won things as well. He's already won Europa League. Year one. If this story isn't even true, I just like it as a story that he had to go to a psychiatrist to calm down because he was so upset. I mean, it sounds like one of those urban myths, do you know what I mean? But even if it isn't, I just like those type of stories. And unlike Hakimi, because this is what Hakimi's agent said. This guy didn't shirk. I mean, he obviously told Spurs to go do one right away, which is even better. But I like it. He wants to come. I think it's good. I think it's if Haaland comes, Haaland comes. But I think no one say to me 2017 anymore. This is not 2017. This window with that Kounde signing, it's not 2017 because everyone can agree he's not world class. We're not calling him world class. He's quality, and that's what they told us. They were going to buy. Third goalkeeper doesn't count. They were going to buy quality, not quantity anymore. It's quality now.
Quality, yeah. And do you know what? When I was live today, there was lucky enough a Sevilla fan come on, and he said he said to me, if you want to know about Kounde, I'll tell you who he is. And this is from him. I'm not saying that's what all Sevilla fans think of. He went, "You're signing the new Sergio Ramos." I was like, "Really?" He's like,
"Wow."
He goes, "This guy is that good that the deal that you're proposing to us is it's disgusting. We are all angry over here. All the Sevilla fans are going mental because they look at Kounde as being one of the best defenders in the world, is what they're saying. That's how good they think he is, and they watch him day in and day out. That's how good they said. And they said, you will not be. He finished off by saying to me, he went, "You will not be disappointed because he will come to Chelsea and he will show you guys how good of a player he is." Honestly, he goes, he is top. He's top. He went to me.
You mean he wasn't they weren't like Leicester fans when we signed Chilwell?
I said, how can you not be happy? You got Happy Zuma. He'd be smiling every day.
Do you know what's ironic though? You know what's ironic? You know it's all about trust your manager and always obviously Tuchel. Like, Tuchel we trust.
Yeah.
Until it gets to Kounde. But when it comes to Declan Rice, listen, trust Tuchel because apparently he wants Rice, right? But when it comes to him wanting Kounde and the club wanting Kounde, nah, let's not back the manager. You know, like let's bring back Guehi. Let's put Tomori in the team. Ridiculous.
Oh, Oscar, man. Big up lad Slens, Winter Surfer, and the AC hater.
Slendo, come on, man.
And Lanzinho as well. And Lanzinho. Got Lanzinho.
Big old fan.
Big up to Lambs as well. Lambs is here with us. Lambs. Obviously, Chelsea have, they're close to signing Jules Kounde from Seville. Zuma looks like he's the guy that's going to be going the other way. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think he's a good signing for the club? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, 100% it makes sense because obviously what we've been seeing as Chelsea fans is just basically an overhaul from our club pretty much, and a lot of that including the youth players as well, and these so-called players who are supposedly in the next year or two break into the first team, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So as we're seeing this overhaul of players being shifted out, we can expect, this is Chelsea Football Club, so we can expect them to do a madness, I suppose, and bring in like viable replacements and decent replacements as well. So this is why I know people have been moaning on Twitter and what's pissed me off the most is literally these Manchester United fans just honestly just twerking because they signed 2 players, which they probably should have in the last 4 or 5 years, to be honest, anyway. So let them twerk on Twitter, let them get excited about their signings, because we all know who they still have in charge at the end of the day. But what I appreciate about Chelsea, they'll be so quiet, nothing will come out, and then boom, bada boom, like business as per fucking usual. So I'm not surprised. I've been looking at his stats as well, and I think, like, I've mentioned him a few times as well. I think mostly in confusion with Kounde as well, because I know he's signed for Liverpool as well. So sometimes when I'm talking about that, I'll say like Kounde instead of Kounde, like as literally.
Just say Jules. Just say Jules.
Just say Jules. He's the crown Jules.
Crown Jules, baby.
I'll call him Jules. He will probably be definitely a real gem to our squad. I've been looking at his tackles as well. The amount of tackles he's attempted in in La Liga as well is 41, and the amount of successful tackles I think is 27 as well. So that's really positive, especially for a team like Sevilla as well. I think those stats will only improve and get better in that Chelsea squad. So by your Kantes, by your Jorginhos as well. To be honest, I think that can only improve. That can only get better. That is a massive signing for Chelsea. That will no doubt improve our defensive midfield position as well. Especially, I know Billy Gilmore's gone out on loan. I do expect him to return to the club, to be honest. But Kounde, such a fantastic replacement. I could not disagree with that more. And you know what? Literally, for all the United fans twerking on Twitter, this is a big remember your place. So
remember your place. Remember your place. Oscar's coming with a comment saying, should we move to the back 4, which with 2 centre backs do you see starting? Which 2 centre backs do you see starting? Also, where does Kounde fit in? A back 3, back 3. Oscar, why is Tuchel going to change what's been working? He's not going to do that.
No. I think his signing. I think his signing makes us more solid with a 2.
No, but it gives us options.
But even in the friendly against Bournemouth, he switched to a back 4 in the second half, and he played 2 up front. I'm not saying he's going to do it. I'm not saying he's going to do it all the season. I think in some games.
In some
games, he may
do
it.
I agree with that.
I think he may do it. I think like against teams we're supposed to batter, if we're like half time for a 3-0 up, he might just like say go grab some more goals or something, something like that. Or in, like you say, in the League Cup games, or if we've won the first 4 games of the Champions League group, do it then. I think it makes him more safer because he has played in the 2 and he's played well in the 2. In a 3, he plays either side. I don't think he plays in the middle. I think he can play left or right. So,
honestly, regarding Big O's question, Oscar. I tweeted not too long ago, and again, it's all about personnel in terms of the system we play. Like people think that because we play 5 at the back and 2 DMs, they think because we play 5 at the back. It's going to be 5 defenders and 2 DMs. That's not the case because Jorginho is a different profile to McTominay. If you look at United, if you look at, do you know what I mean? So it's all about the profile of the player you have. If you play Cho at right wing back, it's not like playing Aspie and Reece. So for me, personally speaking, I said I think we should move to a back 4. And I understand people saying that if it's not broke, why fix it? Let me give you guys this insight.
Except Rachel, all these other
of course. But I was going to say, in terms of the back 5 working, listen, it worked to us incredibly well in Champions League, and it worked well at being compact against big teams and finding the spaces. But if you look at our Premier League form, I've always said this, like separate the Champions League from the Premier League. I think under Tuchel even, we weren't very consistent in terms of getting wins all the time. If we want to win the title, I want us to get 10 to 12 wins in a row. I don't think we can do that with a back 5, personally speaking. I think because the profile of our players in terms of Mount, I think Mount suits an 8 better than he suits a right forward situation. I think Cho would be better in left back than he is, left wing than he is at right wing back. I think Reece James suits a back 4 more, and Joe will suits a back 4 more.
Unpopular opinion. I don't want to see Mount in a 10. I'm sorry. I saw enough.
It's not a 10. It's not a 10. He's
I
a
don't
hard-working 8.
See my man in a 10. He's not a number 10. at all.
He's not an attacker, Lambs. He's not an attacker.
Yeah,
either.
he's not. He's
Yeah,
not.
he's not an attacker.
He's
Just make
definitely
sure
not.
Johnny's
We
not
saw
around,
that in the Euros. We saw that when he was playing as a 10 in Chelsea on the rare occasions that he did. And we saw that in the Euros as well. My man is not a 10. He is an 8.
No, he's a very hardworking 8.
By the way, it's not criticism of him, by the way.
He'll make those tackles. He'll make those tackles. He'll make them interceptions. He'll get that ball forward for the attacking players. But he himself, he's not going to make shit happen. He's never going to make shit happen.
I will say this. I looked on the stats yesterday because I hate this chances created thing that people keep bigging him out on. He's actually, for big chances, this is without us having a clinical striker. Last season he was 7th without a clinical striker, and he's not really. I don't think, like you say, I don't think he'll end up being our most creative, but he's 7th already.
I agree with you.
Imagine if he had a clinical striker, he'd be clear. All these boys would be clear.
Well,
I think he's a very hardworking 8. I think he has some talent, but I think he will work hard to achieve that talent.
Yeah,
like Frank Lampard did.
Yeah.
Lampard was not naturally talented. He worked hard to achieve his talent, and that will make him a far better player, and he will have a longer career as well, a more successful.
Yeah. So why is our biggest chance creator playing as an attacker then? Do you know what I mean? Surely, right? Like it should be a midfield. It should be a number 8. It should be creating from deep.
Yeah,
because that's what we're lacking. Do you know what I mean? So,
the thing that will allow us to go into into that is having different formations, and I think what we're actually doing right now is we're working towards that. So bringing in Kounde brings versatility across the back because he can play left centre back, right centre back. If you switch to a back 4, he can play right back. He can play centre back. If Jorginho or Kounde or Kovacic get injured, he can actually play as a DM because he's that good with the ball in his feet. So it's in that one player,
versatility and squad depth. This is what's going to get us competing for a Premier League title, because you need consistency and squad depth throughout the whole of the season. It's not like a tournament competition. And literally echoing what Slens and Andrew said before, you can't consistently play in a back 3 for the whole season. You just can't. You're going to get caught out. So essentially, against certain oppositions, you will have to change up that formation. We'll have to revert to a back 4. Having him in that squad as well gives us that option as well. I do still think maybe we need to get another DM. I do still think maybe we definitely need to get a striker, that's for sure. Otherwise, what will be the point?
We're going to get onto that. Yeah, we are definitely.
But literally, if we get those 2 along with him, there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be league contenders.
If you want a DM, just go back and talk to Kounde's agent. He's the agent of Tchouaméni.
Yeah, it's the same as Tchouaméni, isn't it?
Which I think now what makes sense. Those reports 10 days ago that we were talking to Tchouaméni's agent, I think we were talking to him about Kounde. That's why it's come about now. That's what I think.
Look,
listen, all the in the nose, man. They didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, we are, exactly. Look, and the thing is, the one thing I would say about how we've moved, especially with this Kounde thing, is that Chelsea are doing things behind closed doors. And I know people are like, what's going on with Haaland? We need to know if they're doing anything. We're waiting for a bid. Chelsea could be past the bid stage. They could be doing something else right now. We just don't. You just don't know with Chelsea. Like, they will just tell you. Will only know when they want you to know. And this Kounde one is a good example of it, because 2 days ago I was in bed and Kounde wasn't in one article. He went on he went on no one's socials. All the big accounts. None of them were talking about Kounde to Chelsea. All of a sudden, Fabrizio Romano, Why I'm Live, and you were there on GNA. There's, exclusive. Kounde to Chelsea.
Do you know why the Haaland deal wasn't behind closed doors? Because number one, there's a lot of interest in Haaland. It's also a massive profile of a deal. So people's eyes are on it, which means that things will get leaked. But because the Kounde deal wasn't a massive deal, it was if it was up to Chelsea, the Haaland deal would be done very quietly. No one would know anything, but it just couldn't be. I'm telling you, that's why you shouldn't worry. Because honestly, if you don't know anything, that could be a good thing. If you haven't heard anything, it could be a good thing. We'll just move on from the Kounde topic, because we've been doing it for half hour and we could be here for like hours talking about this. But we need to talk about 2 other things. The central midfield issue at the moment. All right, obviously we've got players trying to impress Tuchel, seeing if they can try and be kept after the pre-season.
I'm sorry, if we're not keeping Billy Gilmore, nobody else gets a
I know, but there's a bit of flams. I agree with you.
If Billy Gilmore is going out on loan,
he's gone.
No other youth player gets a fucking
shirt. Well, this is my question. You can start it then. Yeah, you can start this question then, right? So we've got Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic. Yeah, I would have kept Billy Gilmore, but he's gone to Norwich, all right? So which means we do need strength there. Why? Because Kante and Kovacic will pick up injuries as they go. Maybe even Jorginho.
We have three. If literally one or two of them get injured, we're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. So what would you do, and who would you bring in? Would you look at the academy? Would you look at what we've got, or would you go out and buy? Like, what would you do if you were Chelsea?
If I was looking at the academy, I would say the player that has proved themselves that they can handle that intensity, they can handle the pressure of being in the first team, they can handle the pressure of playing against quality opposition squads, would be Billy Gilmore, if I was going to say so, because he does have that experience. There's no ifs and buts about it. Like, the stats speak for themselves. In the few moments that we have seen him, he has done exceptionally well. He's done enough that we can say he does deserve to be given another shot. He does deserve to be given another chance. And rightly so, what Chelsea have done is they've recognised the talent and the potential that he has, and realised that he's not a player that we can so easily just sell off and just let go of and forget about and just move on. He is quality, and especially in a position like that where we don't have that many like highly rated players as well, and even in other squads, amongst other squads, there's not that many highly rated players in that position. So the fact that he's gone out on loan, we sent him out on loan with the intention of bringing him back in a season or two, I'm guessing, and incorporating and integrating him in that first team. But seeing as he's now gone out on loan, that does tell me that Chelsea do intend to go out and get a replacement DM. They do intend to go out and get, say, a Tchouaméni or somebody of that caliber in that position. Like I said, the overhaul of all of these players does tell me that, okay, we're getting rid of these young players, these inexperienced players. Some of them, yes, might have so much potential, but we're getting rid of them, or we're overhauling them because we are going to get quality replacements in. Yeah, that's what that tells me from Chelsea.
I agree. Winter Surfer, what's your thoughts on the whole central midfield aspect? We've got under 2 weeks, is it, or 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks of the transfer window left. Do you see Chelsea signing someone in that position, or do you think it will just be a strike?
The reports from most of the reports say that we want to do 2 more signings. One of them is a DM. Is it too logical? Like I just said about 5 minutes ago, is it too logical to think Kounde's got the same agent as Tchouaméni? Is that too logical to think? Problem is, Tchouaméni, I'd probably like to sign him and then loan him back, because Monaco are in the Champions League this year, and I know he's going to play more games. Someone like Bouba Kamara?
Yeah, Marseille
comes to mind. Chelsea like deals. Apparently, he's like 15 to 20 million euros. Looks good. I think he would be okay with being 4th choice. The other one that comes to me, and people are going to totally disagree, I'm going to say, and this is more heart more than head, and I never really let my heart rule my head when it comes to this, is staying around the squad is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I don't want Conor Gallagher. I agree with what Slen said. Yes, I know it's only 1 game. He looked a bit rash out there against Bournemouth in the field. And it's young. I'd prefer him to move to a good Premier League club that's not in a relegation trouble, or is not losing all the time. Maybe like a Palace or something like that, where Vieira's there. Loan him there. He's also in London as well. Just keep him around a bit.
I'd like to see him under Vieira, to be honest.
What I think is that if we sign Tchouaméni and Billy Gilmore, if we sign Tchouaméni and obviously keep Billy Gilmore, because I want to keep Billy Gilmore because he'd be one of the youngsters. If we sold him, I'd really regret selling him. I think if we keep them, those are the 2 long-term replacements for Jorginho and Kante. I really do. Because I see next season, I'd probably see Kovacic leaving next summer, or Jorginho leaving next summer, and then coming in.
Kovacic.
Yeah, I think Kovacic most likely, but Kamara would be the one for me, the solid 4th choice, and have Loftus-Cheek as a 5th choice, because I think we are going to play solid 3 in midfield and a few of these games, and Loftus-Cheek can do a job, but that's more heart than head. So.
Well, what about Danny Drinkwater? Obviously, I know it was only a pre-season game yesterday, but did you not feel like he moved the balls around well? He was keeping the game moving. He was quite.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question actually?
I
On
didn't
top of
even
this,
watch him, Jim. I wasn't even focused on him.
no. Can we be honest though? Can we be honest?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm not promoting Drinkwater, but do you think people say he's not good because they watched him and say he's not good? I've actually not realised that he's played like 2 games for Chelsea. How do we know if he's shit?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should be playing. I'm just saying.
I'm just being devil's advocate, like the devil's advocate.
I think with Drinkwater, honestly, like it's just about him being like an image, like a meme kind of, and everyone just laughs at it. Which I understand. I understand he was bought for a lot of money.
Last night, I got to be honest with you. The first half, half the players there, I really didn't watch because I think they're not going to be there. So it's like I didn't really rate them, and Drinkwater was one of them. Just release him, man. He's got 1 year left. Just pay him off and let him go. Just release him.
No, he doesn't want to be released.
I don't care.
I'm really going to mention how awful Tammy Abraham was. I know he's leaving.
Wait. Before we move on to that, though, like,
we'll get to strikers.
We haven't. Listen, I'm sorry. Like, as much as I don't want to mention his name, but we've gone through 3 houses and no one said Declan Rice. Like, I hate to say it, but Fabrizio Romano has linked us to Declan Rice.
Nothing more than 50. Nothing more than 50.
Yeah, same. I'm with Andrew on this one. If we get Declan Rice,
hold on. Let me explain.
If we pay more than that for him, I'm gonna have a problem.
I'm not saying this, guys. You know who you're talking to. I don't want to sign him.
I don't want Berg Rice. I like my rice cooked nicely, mate.
I know, but I'm saying if we're being realistic, as much as we can be, like expectations are different to being realistic, right? But realistically, the only we've been tied to, linked to, even Chomany's not a DM, by the way. The only DM we've been linked to is Declan Rice. And my problem is I don't understand why. Like, Fabrizio Romano came out today. There was a video. Check the YouTube channel, the United one. He said Declan Rice is priced at more than 80 million. We're still linked with him. I don't understand what the links are coming from.
We're not spending that much.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be shocked if Chelsea spent 80 million on Declan Rice.
Hang on, Jem.
Disgusted if they did.
Guys, there's no smoke without fire, though.
Jem,
there's no smoke without fire.
Was it your stream or Lewis's stream yesterday? It was like someone said that they went to, and this can't be proven, but they went to them. They wanted like 80 million. Tammy Abraham. Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
That was Monsters. It was Monsters stream. We was on Monsters stream. Yeah,
that's right. It was like, what? You want to spend Haaland money?
Forget it. It's not happening. I'm telling you now. It's not. Everyone needs to get it in their heads that Declan Rice. If West Ham are being strict,
John, why are we linked to him? Why are we linked to him?
Because we linked with everyone.
No, we're not. I'm sorry, we're not.
We are linked to everyone. We are.
80 million for Declan Rice.
Fabrizio Romano is a tier 1 source, right? Has he linked us to any other DM?
No.
He hasn't. I've honestly done my research, and I hate this. I don't know why we're linked with him. I don't know why.
We've been linked to Declan Rice since Frank Lampard. It's not nothing.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly. We have. So what does that show you? It shows you that we're actually in for him.
Then there was silence on Kounde. Like we said, there's been silence on Kounde, and then out of nowhere, here we go. Like it's just come out of nowhere. So this is literally how Chelsea's they like to do business. To be honest, even if we're not actively being like linked towards some people, like some players in certain positions, don't be surprised if out of absolutely nowhere it will just come out that Chelsea have just signed too many out of absolutely nowhere. Because we're not gonna, literally, like Andrew said, we're not gonna pay 80 million for Declan Rice. Like, what the fuck have you done at West Ham to prove that you're worth 80 million?
Nothing.
Maybe won Europa League with them this year, maybe you might be worth 80
I couldn't agree more, honestly, but I don't understand why we're linked.
Worth it right now. You're not worth it.
You know what signs him? You know what signs him less than? You know what signs him less than?
It's not true.
You know what signs him less for 80 million this year? He puts in a transfer request and he goes on strike. That's the only way we get him for less than 80 million.
True, 100%. If he genuinely wants to come to Chelsea,
I'll tell you what.
Even if he doesn't mind West Ham losing money for him, if he really wants to come, that's exactly what I'm
agreed.
They can have. This is what we do, right? They can have Ross Barkley, Emerson, Alonso, and one other player. We're giving 4 players for Declan Rice that add up to like.
They can have half of academy.
It does us a favour. Because when I watched Alonso yesterday, I thought I cannot. I watched Alonso yesterday, and I was like, I cannot watch this guy
He had the
play for
captain's
my
armband.
team another
He had the
season.
captain's armband.
It made it even worse
He had
watching
the
him.
captain's
You know,
armband. Made
I
me
said we
sick.
should sell him over Emerson,
Made
but
me sick.
a lot of people agreed. A lot
I
of
mean,
people agreed.
sick, Andrew. That's why I couldn't finish watching the game because I was like, why is this man captain? I can't.
He even moves slow in a friendly. I know it's a friendly, but he looked extra slow, like he just come back the previous day and they put him on the game.
Isn't it funny how we had to wait to concede before we finally got jolted into action?
Baba Rahman played better than
Well, but it was Bournemouth away though. If you guys know
I
our
know.
history of Bournemouth away,
I know, but Baba
honestly, man,
Rahman.
I'm glad we won the game.
Slens, I remember like it was yesterday under Sarri, us holding four to Bournemouth.
Nice one, Jake.
I will never forget. It's like a nightmare. I remember
we lost 3-0 at home with Kounde.
like it happened yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah.
We lost 4-0. We held 4 goals to Bournemouth. And
Yeah,
this
I'd say something though.
is after they'd just been promoted to the Premier League as well. Like how
Guys.
is a team who just won the title the previous season hold 4 goals to this Bournemouth?
Lambs, please don't bring this back. These memories I've stored away. I don't want to think of these memories. These memories are pain.
I was planning to sleep tonight,
I
man.
just want people to understand why I don't respect Jorginho.
Oh my god! Oh my god, man! Please, no, please, man! I can't believe it. How did you come back to this? Wow!
But listen,
holding that DM, and we held 4. Like that's not a joke. We held 4 goals to Bournemouth. Like that's nightmarish. That's blasphemy right there.
he's got a point. But anyway, we move. Why are we going to be stuck on? Let's move. Let's move. To be fair to him, he's had a good season, so let's leave him for at the moment. He's not doing too bad.
I actually apologise.
Well, Devil for Avocado says, Lamb's not this again. Leave Jorginho alone.
What was you talking about, Jorginho?
I apologised on Twitter, but I still don't rate him. Okay?
All right, that's fair enough.
Respect his recent performances, and I apologise, but I still don't rate him. Anyway, we move.
Lambs. I'm going to give you a player that you can actually start on because it's the last topic of the day. Striker. Obviously, there's talks about Erling Haaland, right? Maybe potentially coming, maybe not coming. Who knows, right? If he doesn't come to Chelsea, if we do not get the target that we want, based on what you've seen of Tammy Abraham, is he staying or is he going?
Get him out of the club. Like my man should have left. Like my man should have left yesterday. Yesterday. He should have left the day before yesterday. To be honest, he should have left last season. Why I'm still talking about him? Why we are still talking about should he stay? Is a goddamn joke at this point, especially after the performance. Like if you were gonna, if there was ever a time to put in I'm gonna fight for my place, it's in a fucking friendly against Bournemouth. And we all saw that stinker of a performance. If anything, that performance just that was the stamp on the papers that said, yep, here you go, get the fuck out. Just don't come back. Seriously, that was exactly what that was.
You know what, right?
I want to see my man play another game for Chelsea wearing a Chelsea shirt. How the fuck do you dare? And all I'm seeing on Twitter, and I have been seeing, but Tuchel didn't give him a chance. But all these other players come back from loan. They're getting a look in by Tuchel, but Tammy did. Shut the hell up. We were there. We were watching when Tammy got a start. He got 2 starts, in fact, over Timo Werner, because we know how topsy-turvy Timo Werner was. And even how topsy-turvy Timo Werner is still miles better than Tammy Abraham's performances. Because a lot of the times when I'm watching Tammy Abraham play, it looks like we're playing with 10 men because he is non-existent. How can you be that tall and have 0 presence? It's a joke.
Can I just say something about this Tammy Abraham, right?
Look at Haaland, who's younger than him, who has like similar height.
Yeah,
presence and domination that he
They're
shows.
different, Lance. They're different. Yeah, that's
compared,
like
compared to Tammy Abraham. That is a goal poacher, Erling Haaland.
Yeah,
Tammy Abraham is he's just there. And sometimes it's just like, is he there? Are you there? Because I definitely.
You know what, Lance?
Hell no to Tammy Abraham. I will take you, I'll take Slens, I'll take Andrew over fucking Tammy Abraham. Are you dumb? Tammy Abraham,
you know, yesterday,
fuck out of my club. I'm sorry.
You know, yesterday, right? I was watching him. I actually watched the first three quarters, and I had to go on the terrace, right? But I see him get in the first half. It must have been about 3 clear chances, and one of them, he took a touch when he shouldn't have took a touch. He should have just shot, and by taking a touch, it took him away from the goal. Yeah, and I was like, why didn't he just shoot first? Yeah, he gets the same chance again, but he's got more time, and he's in front of goal. He hits it straight at the goalie. He then tries to do a Giroud head. I don't get how the guy is so tall and he can't header. Like, this just does not make any sense in my head. Yeah, he tries the ball.
What is your height there for?
Ziyech knocks the ball in the air.
You have this
And
height
literally,
for?
it's perfect, and he scuffs his head. I just don't get it. Slens, maybe you can answer it. I'm lost when I watch him. I actually look at him and I'm lost.
Bro,
I'm like, why?
When I watched that game,
Just before Sven's answers, I just want to literally just pop in this bit, right? You see Tammy Abraham in his height, right? And you see Raheem Sterling in his height. Yeah, my man's catching headers and scoring them. Let me just leave it at that.
Go on, Slens.
yeah. Listen, I watched that game and I was trying to learn new things about new players, but it turns out I learned the same things about our old players, man. In terms of Tammy, I wasn't outraged or angry or completely raging, because at the end of the day, we all know, big up, bro. We all know something.
Big up to you.
This is not going to be easy 9-2. Yeah, he's not going to be our problem anymore. So I'm not going to go crazy about it. I'm not going to be like, because he's going to leave my club. I know he's going to leave. There's no chance he's staying.
Is he though? What if we don't sign a striker?
He is.
I'm telling you.
He's definitely leaving. Regardless,
No,
he's definitely leaving.
even if we don't,
Hold on. Let me
he's
finish.
going to Villa, he's going to West Ham, he's going to one of these.
I don't think so.
No matter what happens, I still think he's going to leave, because out of everyone in that team, out of everyone who played under Lampard, who's still here, he's probably the least favoured player for Tuchel, and that's because of his deficiencies. I think, again, with Tammy, if he goes to Brighton or West Ham, honestly speaking, he'll get 15 to 20 goals. You might think I'm crazy. Honestly speaking, he will.
Probably will.
But
I agree.
But at Chelsea, we can't afford someone to miss 3 big chances. We have someone already who has blonde hair, who does that more than enough. So I don't want anyone else to be in that team doing the same thing. I want us. Hopefully, we'll get a striker. We'll get an improvement. But guys, honestly, don't overreact about this. It's fine. I'm telling you, he's gonna leave. He's gonna be someone else's problem, and we're gonna move on, man. But that was a terrible performance.
Oh wait, Jem waving his armpits. Yeah, there you go.
To be fair, so do I, man.
Baby fresh.
I did actually shave him just now before I got out, so that's why I was gone. That's why I was just checking.
Hey,
sorry, but Winter Surfer, no Haaland, Tammy Abraham still in the club. What is going on at the moment with Chelsea and their search for a striker? Tell us.
So I think yesterday, it might sound a bit harsh. I think it shows maybe why I have a big problem with Tammy. He hardly played the second half of the season. Why doesn't he spend most of his time at Cobham training to be better? He can't head the ball. He can hardly hold up the ball. Jem, this guy's not got even a powerful shot. He's not got a powerful shot. And that's that. Also, if anyone starts, Cho hasn't got one either, but he's got more. Cho's got more than Tammy in other areas. But he hasn't got a powerful shot, Jem. And his first touch, he kept going. You know why he kept going wide? Because his touch was bad. He was pushing the ball wide, but he's got no power shot. I know it's a friendly, but Tammy does that. Why wasn't he? Well, why am I? And it might sound harsh because everyone does deserve a holiday, but he hardly played the second half of the season. He didn't do anything. Why is he not spending his time trying to get better? Do you know what I mean?
He can't. Andrew.
Maybe.
Hold on, guys. The reason he's not good, Listen, the reason. Listen, the thing about Tammy, is that he looks good. Do you know why he looks good in moments? Because what he does, he works on instinct. just purely on instinct. In terms of an instinctive striker, he's actually quite good. But when there's anything that requires a bit of thinking and a bit of like footballing mouse,
don't ask him to,
it always doesn't go right. But when it comes to him finding the tap in of being in the right place in the right time, it's instinctive. Do you remember with Morata? He was great at headers. Do you know why? Because he doesn't need to think about it. He overthinks. But header comes in, you head it in. It's not an overthink process. It's just a one movement. Same with Tammy. Obviously, he can't head, but it's instinctive. So he's never gonna be a Chelsea number 1 striker. I'm not worried.
He's not.
Leave
Look,
the club.
he's not. He's just not Chelsea material. Like, he will go anywhere else and he'll score goals. You know, I think he will. But it's just.
James Spence, I've asked you this question. Start of the week and last week. Tammy Abraham never played for Chelsea, and you see what he is right now. Would you want him to come to?
No.
Would you rate him, and would you want him to come to Chelsea?
No.
And that's the problem with some of our fans. They're blinded by, because he played for Chelsea and comes through the academy. They're blinded by it.
But I can switch it on you, Andrew. I can switch it. Do you know? I can switch it on you. If Calvert-Lewin played for Chelsea week in, week out, yeah, we would be saying the same thing about him.
It'd be the same.
And if Tammy was playing for Everton, we'd be saying, "Oh, we should sign Tammy." Do you know what I mean? That's how it works. You come out to a bigger club.
I don't know, but what I'm saying is, looking how Tammy is now, if we were linked to him, our reaction would be no way. It'd be no.
This comment. He's been against one English team.
Wait. Let me, please. This comment, this is always coming from rivals. I've noticed. How the hell can you tell me that the best youngster, barring Mbappe, in the world would come to the Premier League and be like Minamino, who is the biggest flop of a player, other than Keita, who plays for your fucking club as well, yeah, and put him on them levels? He ain't, listen, that is just salt. That is salt.
I love Velvy. I love
how to say I don't watch football, but in a long sentence.
Because Liverpool aren't signing anyone. He's bored. He's bored.
He's bored. He's just trying to trigger us.
I love you, Velv.
Yeah. But he knows. He's scared. He just knows if Chelsea gets him, he's fucked.
He is.
It's coming.
He is.
We are getting.
They've got injury-prone defenders.
Oh, just focus on your own dead team, please.
You see, I'm
the typical LFC fan. Is what
No, what I mean, like, they're the ones that are going to be like, "Oh, we have fans back in the stadium next year, so we're going to win the league again." Shut up.
Listen, Julius, if you want me to play up front for Chelsea, I will, mate. Honestly, I think I've got more chance than Tammy Abraham.
If
you need one other DM as well, I'm here, man. Another DM.
We can do that.
I got you.
My biggest question for you guys.
Slens is actually really tall, so we could use his presence in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, Jem, full circle. The height thing doesn't matter. Tammy is. Look at the height thing they say about Kounde. Tammy is 6 foot something. He can't hit the ball, so it doesn't matter. The height thing doesn't matter.
No. But I'm not Tammy. My name's not Tammy, though. Come on, man. Come on.
We don't need crossbar challenges. We need goals.
I got the minerals.
He's got the minerals.
I'm gonna ask
take
you.
The minerals and shove
I'm gonna ask you a question, and it's gonna be one of the final questions of the show.
Yeah.
Let's start with Lambs. How confident are you of Chelsea signing Erling Haaland?
85%, because I think there's been a lot of talk surrounding this. The story has been followed very, 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 very intensely. There's been no solid sources confirming that it's absolutely never going to happen, definitely not going to happen, no chance of it happening. And the fact that we are overhauling all of these players shows that we are going for a real legitimate target, like a real high class target. I think even if we don't end up getting Erling Haaland, we might end up getting like an Mbappe or something, but either or, we are going to get a top class striker. There is no doubt about it. We are going to get one of these top class young strikers as well, and that would be worth investing that amount of money in, because we know it's for a long term. It's long term beneficial for Chelsea, and I think that's what's going to happen. So like I said, I am very, very confident we are going to end up getting Haaland. I think it might even be one of the last deals of the transfer window, because it, like Slens mentioned earlier, it's such a high class deal. It's one of those big signings that will steal headlines. So there's so much complications. There's so much little bits and bobs that they got to sort out behind the scenes and stuff like that. But I think this is imminently going to happen. No doubt.
I think it's the biggest signing in the Premier League. I'm not even joking. And when you think about the money that's spent on it,
Europe, to be honest.
Since Cristiano Ronaldo, and you've got to bear in mind, when Cristiano Ronaldo came to Man United, they never touted him to be as good as he ended up becoming. You've got to bear in mind, Haaland is already being put as one of the world's best at his age already, you know, with Mbappe. So Chelsea pulled this off. They've literally pulled off what I think is the next Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, that's how big of a player that we're actually signing. And these come up once in a lifetime. I'm telling you, these kind of players, they come up once in a lifetime. If your club's got the opportunity to get it done and there's no one even trying to buy him, you fucking go and do it, Chelsea, man. Like, you don't think about the money. You just go and get it done.
If we don't get it done this season, next season we're done for, because so many other teams are going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
So many other teams are going to come out. And the value is going to drop as well, because his contract length would have been decreased by another year. So
Let's see. Winter Surfer. How do you think this is going to go? We're getting into the end of this week, and then obviously we're going into August.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we'll see anything this week. Going into Thursday now, I think like you, I think they might give it. It's real hard. We'd like him in before the season starts. I understand that. If though it needs to go to the end of the season, the end of the transfer window to sign him, then I'm fine with that. I mean, he's playing it very cool himself. We see some of his interviews, and he's really non-committal at all. He just waves stuff off. I think you just don't turn that money down. Do you know what I mean? But we have to bid, and no one said we bid it. No one said we even put in an official bid yet. It's like, I just don't think you turn it down. It's 130 million, so you don't turn it down. It's 130 million plus 20 million add-ons. I'm sorry, you just don't turn it down. You know what I mean? I'm playing with Lambs about 85%, and I'm staying there at the moment.
Yeah.
I just think also, I agree with Lambs. If we don't buy a striker, please know, unless a miracle happens, please no Chelsea fan come to me with any talk of any title. It's second, third, or fourth at best next season.
Do you not expect your players that we signed last year that didn't really turn up? Do you not expect them to step up? Would that not give us?
Jim, I can only go by what I've just seen last season, and we're not clinical enough at the moment. We're just not clinical. We weren't turning defeats into draws or draws into wins. And I'll be listening. Even sentiment, if Werner, we want Werner to start banging in 30 goals next season, it helps our club.
Yeah.
But as what we're seeing right now, we are not clinical. That's why Mason Mount is only 7th on the big chances created, because we're not clinical in any area of the pitch, finishing wise. So that's how important a striker is. We go for title challenges.
7 for the end of the day, because at the end of the day, people seem to forget. And I remember when Jem pulled it up in the stats when we were doing the season review, 86 shots on goal and 6 goals. So I think 84 shots on goals and 6 goals. That's a conversion rate of less than 7%. That's terrible. That was just on Mason Mount. We're talking about this man being world class, and that's just in the Premier League alone. Get out of here, mate.
Yeah. Slens, how are you feeling about it all, mate?
In terms of your point about our current players becoming or improving, listen, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I think you can't become a clinical striker. That's not something you can become. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Cavani's 33 years old. His movement is incredible, but he's not clinical. Like, being a clinical striker is a rare trait, which is why Haaland is worth the money he's worth, right? And I think there's a lot of pressure on Havertz to expect him to kind of become a clinical striker who he isn't really a striker anyways. But in terms of Haaland, I've said this, mate. I've held for the last 2 weeks. I've held this same view, and I haven't changed my views based on what these journalists say, because they go back and forth. Like Jan Agfjordov, I like the way I said that name. Yeah, come on, has come out and said that like Haaland. Chelsea are interested in Haaland now. He's come out and said that no, read actions more than words. What are the actions that have happened from Chelsea? Yeah, we've sold Giroud, and we're looking to sell Tammy. That's a fact. We're selling our academy players for the first time. I haven't seen us sell this many academy players in one window in a very long time. We usually loan them out, which indicates to me we're clearing wage bill. Dortmund have bought Marlon, and I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
Marlon is a striker. He's a
Yeah,
striker.
he's
I
been
don't care.
playing for the last 2.5 years. As
Yeah,
striker.
even if they plan to play him as a
second.
wide forward or whatever it is, I don't
As a
care. Like,
winger, yeah.
Even when Haaland leaves, he'll be their striker. So that's even if
Yeah.
it's next year. So that's another action that proves that we're looking at this deal. People don't want to come out and say that we're interested in signing. They're not going to do that. It's all about PR and saving your face, like saving face as a club. So we're probably going to get the least amount of information possible. And I'm telling you, honestly, like Lambs is saying 85%. I'm almost 90%. I think we're going to get him. And I think everything, I've said this before, all roads lead to Norway, man. Like it all seems like it's falling into place. And we're going to get him, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of set up to the point where I still think we will get him, but I need to see action. And if we don't see that by the end of this week's, at the beginning of next, then I think we should slightly maybe gear ourselves up for that. It might.
And if United win the Premier League, then I'm absolutely retiring from all social media.
But wait a sec, everyone needs to record this, because if Haaland comes to Chelsea, Vel's saying if Haaland scores 20 goals in his first season at Chelsea, I will change my social media bio as a Chelsea fan. There, you've heard it. So if Haaland comes to Chelsea,
Haaland's gonna be announced. He's gonna. If anyone watched Infinity War, it's when 4 comes in. That's how Haaland's gonna be announced. So it's gonna come in like that, right? We're gonna have Werner on his shoulder and like Rocket Raccoon and Havertz beside him like Groot. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be styling in, bro.
Yeah.
That's how you get styling. Please,
Right.
please.
Guys, it's nearly been an hour. Great stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Try and get to 30. Actually, just try and get to 40 likes on here. Subscribe. Smash the bell notification button. That will let you guys know once we go live. This is something that we'll be doing probably once a week. This is the once a week show on the First XI, and it's Chelsea's grounded football version. They do other versions of grounded football, including Man United's, Liverpool's, and I don't think they do Arsenal and Tottenham because they're irrelevant. No one cares about them. So
that's so true. Could put them together on one show.
It wouldn't even care.
Anyone else going to the Spurs Chelsea Man game, by the way?
Yeah, Lewis is going as well. You know, there's a lot of people going, Lambs. To be fair,
I'll see you there, Slens. Then.
Yeah, sharp.
I would say I was going if I weren't so blimmin' damn busy.
I didn't get my tickets yet, though. Yeah, we can do this backstage.
I will be in the Westview. Like I wanted to be in the Westview stand because I know like they've refurbished it and everything, so it looks like really nice. So I'll be in Westview.
Yeah,
I'll be Matthew Harding, man.
On that note, thank you, Lambs, Lens, Winter Surfer, as always, for tuning in on this show of Chelsea's ground football. And like I said, people will be back again probably around this time, maybe at the same day next week. So yeah, take care, enjoy your evenings, and we'll talk again very, very soon.